Welcome back to round 3 of Supercharged Traps. Now, if you guys want proper trap guides, I got a whole playlist on that. And as mentioned, this is episode 3, so we've got not one but 2 other videos using Supercharged Traps. The theme of these videos is to use, well, typically it'd be a different commander, but I ran a poll on Twitch, link down below if you guys want to be on stream when I record these, and everybody wanted me to run Mega Base. I wanted to showcase a different commander, but that's besides the point. So the theme of these is to run Mega Base, cover a nice big area of tiles, and then use the Supercharged Traps team perk to buff every single trap connected, whether it's your teammates or your own, by 42.5% damage. These are just stream alerts going on. Again, it's been a fun time recording these, and the support is pretty much the same. We need 5 constructors, so 4 of these are super useful. One of them is just kind of there. Frozen Castle means enemies will spend more time on our base taking damage from the traps. Feel the Base will just do a little bit of damage every once in a while. Could be nice. Lofty Architecture from Base Kyle and Power Base Nox or Penny if you want to flex is just there to make our builds heal in case enemies ever smack our walls. And then, like I said, Electrified Floors. I need to have some constructor down there just to activate the team perk as much as possible. It's not going to do a ton, but it's extra damage, so yeah, why not? Now, the theme of this one is going to be a bit fun because Archer and I are going to take 2 different directions of this Ride the Lightning mission and trap it a little bit differently, so you guys can see not just how I trap these missions, but how somebody else might as well. It can be pretty fun, so let's hop in and I'll see you when we get started. Oh yes, we got the most beautiful spawn right on the edge of the map. Archer's taking the south side, Elba's gifting subs. This is going to be good. So I've got a lot to deal with over here where we're going to be having enemies coming up from this angle right here where, honestly, I think just bumping them right off the map is going to be kind of the way to go. And I'm going to do that, that, and that. And I know you can do these like every other tile, but I like to just spam all the floor spikes I can. Because sometimes it'll trigger, and then an enemy will walk over and they won't get hit. Typically, if they get slowed and snared, they'll go for an extra tile and they won't actually hit it twice. But that's because we're going to be having a lot of enemies going through here at different rates, and I just want to account for everything. It's also Death Bomb. So as Dimension's doing, we're going to have to be upgrading everything as we go. And I'm just going to build over here real quick. Archer's got his own Mega Base, so we can actually be kind of far apart this time around. I want to put this down just so that I can see what's going to reach. You know, obviously we're dealing with Mega Base, so we need to make sure that our traps are getting hit by the Mega Base, and that will hopefully help revive our traps when they get damaged by Death Bomb. This one, I don't see how this is going to be within range. I might not have thought that far ahead. Let's see if we can just connect it through there. I should probably be using wood for that, but anything in range of the enemies could get hit and could take damage, and it's good to be aware of that. Now I'm going to be putting tar pits and metal. Metal on the floor would be a lot better because normal enemies aren't going to smack that, so it's not actually going to do any more damage than a regular target. And then still electric fields are going to be great because they will be up and out of the way. So we're just going to do some scaffolding just like this. Do that, do that, do that. And then metal, once again, shouldn't be getting hit by normal enemies. So we're just going to do a nice little layer of steel electric fields. And that's sort of a defensive thing. So I'm going to leave that alone. It's not going to do a ton of damage, but it should be kind of nice. Now, this is where things get real tricky, is over here. Enemies are going to be coming through here, and I want to make sure that we are prepared for that. So we're going to be blocking it off. They're probably going to go around that or through it, so I'm not going to be too greedy. I just want them to not come through here. I want them to come through here. Alba is gifting another 5. I swear, if you guys ever want to be gifted a random sub on stream, just be here when Alba comes through, because he is an extremely generous donor on the channel and highly appreciated. And you know, a great way to immortalize a donation is to just send it while I'm giving a little tutorial on YouTube videos. So yeah, there you go. This will be hopefully a good way, hopefully an effective way to get that taken care of. I don't normally do floor spikes. Normally I do floor freeze. That's probably the smarter way to go here. But you know, I'm doing things a little different today, and I think that's an alright way to do it. I've been really enjoying wall dynamo as well, so I'm gonna put those down as well, upgrading everything as I go, because Death Bomb is kind of a problem. I honestly hadn't even considered it heavily before this mission started. I think I'm over trapping a bit at this point, but it should be okay. I just want to prep a little in advance with the floor freeze down here, and we can connect it just like this, where I'm gonna do that. And then I don't want enemies to run straight through this, so I'm going to connect it sort of like this, where I'm going to put these little edited walls that will probably break, but should be, you know, at least enough out of the way where enemies won't be smacking into it as much. I'm just being overly optimistic here. I just want everything to stay connected. I'm just kind of winging this because I want to see if it'll work more than I actually expect it to work. So we're going to find out together. Now, what has Archer been up to? What do you got going on here? Where do you want to start?
Tunnel, I guess.
Tunnel? You know, that is a tunnel. Got a nice little...
It's just
yeah, floor freeze.
Most overkill death tunnel ever.
Fully upgraded. We're going for an expensive mission here. All right, I think we're ready to go.
So, a way to explain why it's floor spikes and not floor freezes. The floor spikes will snare them and then will cause them to get trapped in the tunnel longer. Because with the tar pits, if tar pits receive any damage type, then they'll trigger and then they won't stuck enemies anymore. And the floor freezes are on a timer, but the floor spikes are not.
So this could be a good way to say that, hey, floor spikes isn't something I always do. Typically, I prefer floor freeze, but floor spikes will work as well, and we got a Smasher coming through. So Dimension's running a crack shot build. We're going to need him for this one, because Smasher is going to be smashing. Unless, of course, Plasmatic Discharger does its job. That is so nice to see. Yeah, so you guys... Well, that might have been destroyed by enemies spawning on top of it. Let's see. Yeah, well, look at that crack shot damage. Link to those crack shot videos down below. I'm not going to flash them all on screen because editing that takes forever, but I will link them all down below. So here's a random one of my crack shot thumbnails, but every video done with them will be down below because crack shot builds are absolutely nuts. And it looks like this tunnel's working really, really well. Archer's tunnel seems to be getting plenty of attention. Obviously, I'm not getting damage numbers for that, but my tunnel is very busy over here, and look at that. Now, a long time ago, I recommended blue floor spikes, and that was because they didn't really matter. They were cheaper to craft and still did the same thing. But since then, I kind of quietly did this on stream. It didn't really turn into a YouTube video. I made a new copy. It was just a full crit, double crit damage floor spikes build, and that was meant to make it do more damage. Now, these broke, but it looks like they're still connected, at least mostly, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I knew they'd break. I said they would, but yeah, I don't know. I'm weird about floor spikes because they don't do a lot of damage. You could see that it's barely any, but it is some damage, and since, you know, legendary floor spikes cost the same as the cheaper alternatives, you might as well just do it and have them do more damage. So yeah, what do we got going on? Something I should respond to?
Oh, we don't have any traps right here.
Traps where? East side? Oh yeah. So
yeah.
This is an instance where Mega Base is awesome. We can just slap down a couple of Steel Electric Fields, and that should pretty much clean it up. You know what? Normally I say these missions are over-trapped, but other than these back Steel Electric Fields that haven't gotten a lot of attention on my end, I feel like my tunnel's been mostly adequate. We also have teammates that are shooting the targets, which is an interesting thing, because as a YouTuber, I want to showcase the tunnel doing all the damage to demonstrate how good the tunnel is. But in a realistic mission, you wouldn't want to put a bunch of traps down and then yell at your teammates for helping. Typically, you'd want to put the traps down as a primary defense, hoping they'll do 80% of the work. Then you have teammates running builds like that crackshot build, cleaning up the in-between. Because most smashers are going to get through most tunnels anyway. It makes a lot of sense to have teammates helping, so I'm not really too worried about it. And I think having to mention light stuff up with crackshot and Reaper, are you running a Highlander build, doing what he does, is a perfectly fine representation of how things normally go, and probably better indicative of how a regular mission would perform. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I enjoy recording multiple videos on a similar subject, because even though this is the third installment of my Supercharged Traps series, I like to think that this is, you know, the more realistic perspective of how things go. And honestly, it is so satisfying to just watch that tunnel over there. It just works. It just works so great. Between the floor spikes and Ice King, they really slow enemies down so much. And there's those defensive traps coming into play. They get trapped on the tar pits and then just zapped. Somebody put wall darts down and it's dead. And that's one of the things I like to mention about Supercharged Traps being awesome is I didn't even put those wall darts down. Whoever did that was just a teammate being helpful, and because Supercharged Traps applies to all traps, not just your own, you are an extraordinarily useful teammate with Supercharged Traps. And then of course, if there's two of you running it, like Archer and I, we can have two gigantic tunnels completely buffed with 2 different bases, and it's super satisfying. So we got a Ricochet mini boss, which is how we lost that Frost Knight run that one time.
You should lead him into my tunnel.
Yeah?
It's gonna. Oh god.
Yeah, that's an annoying spot. I'm gonna shoot a discharger in and then die from it. This was an unwise decision, I'm sure. Oh, it's barely doing any damage. Yeah, sometimes dischargers just do nothing to mini bosses. Is there like a reason behind that?
I have no idea.
Is it just a bug, or is the weapon performing in a way that I'm not aware of?
It might be. It might have like a stack timer or something. I have no idea how it works exactly.
Like, it seems like mini bosses specifically. Sometimes a smash will be sitting still. I shoot a discharger at it, and it just zap, 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 and dies right away. But the mini bosses, either in regular missions, don't take any damage, or it's an MSK mission where the mini bosses die super easily from the discharger. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I don't understand. All I know is that watching tunnels work is super, super satisfying. If I got damage numbers for Archer's tunnel, I'd better be able to demonstrate what's going on. But you can see almost nothing is getting through his first corner. Even that smasher is just not getting very far. Like, it's getting halfway through, but... Oh, is that actually going to break through? Oh, wow. Wow, we had a smasher win.
Nothing's gonna get past this. So.
No, it's just a smash. Oh, hold on. Hang on. Whoa, wait, hey, oh, you got the I tried to cancel it. Man, now I want to use that crack shot build. I've been having so much fun with the Flash AC build. Link to that down below. Whoa, there's a pot shot doing something better. So, that instance that we just observed both times, back to back, is why I no longer feel like the discharger is as overpowered as everybody thought, because yes, it does tons of damage. That is not disputable. The weapon's insanely strong. But it takes so long to charge up that the Deatomizer, the Pot Shot, the Storm King's Wrath, the Santa's Little Helper, these are weapons that are significantly more practical for quick reactions, fast pace. Oh, there's an enemy, bam, smack it. The Discharger taking 3 straight seconds to stand there and stare at your target before you actually do anything is... not a weapon that usually gets the kill, you know. So, early bird gets the worm kind of thing. I've been kind of preferring pot shots and wraths over the discharger for that kind of activity. So, yeah, something to think about. I thought the weapon would be super overpowered, make every other launcher obsolete, but I was kind of wrong. And as we observed, it does weirdly less to mini bosses for some reason in regular missions. I don't know what's going on there, but I think there's a deeper story.
He's got the higher damage number.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, all right. Before we see this, there are discrepancies like who bothered to do more to the mini boss, what weapons we chose to use, and how many enemies spawned in each location. It seems Archer... So I'm at 56-25. Archer got 71-21. Clear winner in Archer's court, but I don't know. I don't know if that's definitive. I feel like we'd have to have 2 spawns with equal amounts of enemies to really know for sure. But, you know, I'll give Archer the W on that one. If you guys want to see more of this, as I think you do, as the first video performed well, and because of my slow upload schedule, I actually, as of recording, don't know how the second video performed, but I imagine well. If you want to see more, comment down below. Subscribe on YouTube, Twitch link down below. I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching. And then